Hi, I'm Erica from AccuQuilt, and I'm here today to talk to you about making our sweetest pie quilt. It's hanging behind me. It's made with gorgeous Dolly Jean fabric from Robert Kaufman, 1930s reproduction, and really fun. It is all put together with 3 basic blocks. You can see we've got this one, and then number 3 is going to be our sashing. Now this one is put together with our 6-inch cube and our 6-inch cube companion. Now it uses 4 of the dies from your cube and all of the dies in your companion. Now because we number our pieces the same in all of our cubes, you could certainly make this same quilt out of a different size companion and cube, but keep in mind you're going to have different fabric requirements and a different size finished project, and it's still going to be adorable and use those same pieces because we've numbered them the same across the system. But today we're working with the 6-inch. So I want to look really closely at those blocks. This is going to be block number 1. Now from your companion cube, you're going to see we've got the drunkard's path. Now this is a pretty small drunkard's path, but don't be scared. We're going to go through exactly how to sew it. And then we've got our rectangles and our quarter square triangles in the middle. Our next block is block number 2, and this one is going to use the signature block in the corners. You can see the green signature blocks in the corner here. Again, that's from your companion, and then on either side you've got your half square triangles, and then on the sides your rectangles again, and again in the middle the quarter square triangles. Again, those are all from your cube. So that's number 2. And then number 3 that's in the sashing is going to use the chisel, the half square triangle, and a square. So let's get started on putting together one of those drunkard's path squares. Now whenever you start to talk about sewing curves, some people get a little nervous, and I want to try and alleviate that for you. Now I know it's a little curve, but one of the great things that we do with our dies is cut in the notch for you so that you know how to line that up. I'm going to show you exactly how to cut it and do that. So to start with, we're going to use our Go Big Electric today. Now these with the 6-inch cube are all dies that would fit in any of our cutters, including the Go Baby. But I'm going to let the Go Big do the work for me today. I'm going to turn it over, open it up, it's turned on. Like with any of our other dies, we're going to line up our straight of grain parallel to our lengthwise blade as it's going through the cutter. Now these are actually non-directional shapes, so I can go ahead and fan fold my fabric on here. You need 4 of these for each of your blocks, and I really could do more than 4, but I'm just going to do the 4 layers that I need for my one block right here and pop a mat on it. And just for fun, I'm going to show you how we can cut 2 dies at once. So we've got this one all ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and get the other part of the drunkard's path lined up. And again, it's got our notch here, so we're going to be ready to line up. We're going to go ahead. I'm going to fan fold. Again, we're not directional on this, so it's okay. We can do this fan folding really easily. We're going to need the 4 pieces of this to coordinate with the 4 other pieces. I'm going to pop my mat on here. And because we've got our Go Big, I can do more than 1 die at a time. I can go ahead, start one, go ahead, get the other one started. They're both going to sit there and wait for me until I'm ready for them. Go ahead, take those off. I've got my center sections. I've got my little concave sections, or some people call this the smile section. So you've got your smile, and you're always going to want to line this up with your smile on top. It's going to be the easiest way for you to sew. So what I'm going to do is put my right sides together with my smile on top, and I'm going to line up my notch right there. And this is the one time I'm going to grab some pins. I'm pretty much a pinner. I don't do it all the time, but I do when I'm sewing curves. Now with this, I'm going to go ahead, put one at either end and one in the middle. And you know what? I always start with the one in the middle first. Matter of habit, I suppose. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do the other end. And don't be afraid of this, even though it's small, it's going to ease in really nicely for you. Now I'm using a 1/4 inch foot, but you wouldn't have to have that here. Know where your 1/4 inch seam allowance is to get started. I'm going to go ahead and take a couple of first stitches just to get me started, but I don't want to run over my pin, of course. I'm going to pull that out. Some of you may want to use a stiletto, some sort of a tool here that's going to help you feed that in besides your fingers. We're going to get it all straightened out, and I'm just going to ease that through. Again, it's going to stop. I'm going to stop short of that pin so that I can go ahead and get that out of there and be ready to ease through the next section of this. Again, I like to kind of line it up and let it go. And when you get closer to the end is sometimes where that stiletto can really come in handy for you, just to make sure once you remove that pin that you're all lined up. I'm going to go ahead, pull that out. I'm going to use this just to make sure I'm lined up nicely here. And we're done. Now I found that it works really well to just go ahead and let the fabric tell you how it wants to be pressed out. It's naturally going to want you to press it out towards that dark center, and we're just going to let it go. Don't have to clip the seam like you would if you were setting a sleeve in or anything like that. And we've got it all ready to go. It's as easy as that. Once you get your rhythm going, they're going to go really quickly for you. And again, you can see how we're going to put that block together. We've got our drunkard's path on either side of the rectangle block, our quarter squares and rectangles, repeat the drunkard's path, put it together, block number 1 is done for you. So really in no time you could get this done and not be afraid of that drunkard's path because you've got a notch.